Hello, everybody. Several different levels of astrological service are available through my site, many times at a special offer. And I'm presently running a special offer on a few consultations. So if you'd like to schedule with me, please do so through the link above. I also have an online academy for those of you who are interested in learning astrology yourselves. That's the Pulse of the Universe Academy of Vedic Astrology. And you can find a link to my online academy right here. So what does it mean when the world doesn't behave the way that we think it should, right? Quite often when this happens from, our limited perspective on things, we grow accustomed to saying things are getting really weird, or the world is a crazy place, or the world is cruel. And you know what? We're really not being fair to, to nature or to the universe when we're doing that. And on a certain level, we grow accustomed to thinking that as puny little mortals, which our, egos make us out to be, because we're not tapping into our full potential, but as puny little mortals, we think that we can take an action and it's gonna influence the outcome of things, right? And I know what you're thinking. You're going, yeah, but sometimes we do take actions and we do influence the outcome of things. But then how do you explain those moments like what you're likely going through right now, where the unexpected element comes into the situation and turns everything topsy-turvy, and you go, I'm going to do this in order to respond to the situation, only suddenly you find out that the efforts that you're putting forward return, well, let's say it, diddly squat, right? It's just not having the effect that you think it should. So what ends up happening over time is when we do something and there's a corresponding result to the actions that we take, we suddenly attach to the concept of, I did this. I did this, I achieved this. And then we begin to identify life as like a series of successes. I'm such a successful, business person, or I'm such a successful astrologer, or I'm such a successful anything. And then when things don't go well, we go, I'm a failure. I'm just a failure. I'll never be able to achieve anything. But you know what? We don't need to apportion pats on the back for ourselves, nor do we need to apportion a whip for our back for ourselves, but we need to recognize that some things are beyond your control. As a matter of fact, if you think about it more deeply, you'll likely find out that nothing is within your control, right? It's just the illusion of you taking an action and a result coming in correlation with your action. So in your mind, you go A plus B equals C, when in the reality of the world, it's probably more like A plus Z equals Q, right? And so you're thinking it's one way, when in reality, it's really quite another. Now, that being the case, you're going, yeah, but you know what? That's not helping me with my problem. But you know what? In a weird roundabout way, it likely is. You're likely finding yourself, as we're approaching this full moon, in one area or another, trying to change things. And you're feeling like this deep sense of, restlessness, because you feel like you have a responsibility to do something, right? The situation can't continue in the way that it has been, proceeding, and you're recognizing that, and you're going, I have a responsibility to change things. Well, on one level, right? But before you put that mantle on your shoulder and then reward yourself with the, kingly robe for, having stepped in and saved the day, or before you kind of dress yourself in the clothes of a beggar and give yourself a hard time for having not saved the day, maybe, perhaps recognize that whilst you do have a responsibility, that responsibility is purely to taking action. Okay? Sometimes we have to take action. And yes, we take that action with the impetus within, our, minds, even within our hearts of going, I need to do this so I can make a difference. The question is if you were to know that sometimes your efforts don't make a difference, would you still be inspired to take action? Would you be inspired to go, right, I'm doing this because it's my, place in the universe. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. This is, sheerly what I'm here for in this particular moment in time. And the next moment in time, I might be here for doing something completely different, right? So one of the things about Swati Nakshatra, which is where this full moon is at, is it has this element of non-accomplishment to it, and an understanding that things are getting really weird, things are getting, kind of crazy, things are getting out of control. How do I respond to that? Because I'm feeling nervous inside of myself, and something's got to change, and something's got to shift, right? But sometimes things shift less from us feeling like we're conquering the world, right? We're conquering space. We've set out in this spaceship and we're conquering the universe. Right. Okay? You gotta understand these things. It's not the way it is at all. It's the way that we view them. So the question to you as we're approaching this particular full moon is, can you learn to act from a space of responsibility rather than seeing the ups and downs of a situation as successes or failures in your life? Real change takes time and a willingness to put forward continued effort over time. Your job at the present moment is merely one of taking action, and you need to now take action and temper that action with patience and, yes, fortitude. Stay strong in the days ahead. You're likely going to need to, but hey, you've done well so far. But try to understand that if it doesn't work out, you're not a failure. If it does work out, maybe it's just because it was meant to, right? So move with the energy, focus yourself on simply taking action for the sake of action, and you'll be doing the right thing. If you could use a little bit of help with your situation, once again, I'll mention to you that I do offer several different levels of astrological service. There are several different services presently on special offer, and you can schedule one of those through the link that you'll see above. That's going to do it for this look at the full moon in Swati Nakshatra, which takes place on the 27th of April 2021. Until next time, please do take the very best care of yourself. Bye now.